G'day, Russ here from offroadexplorer.com, and one of the bikes that I wanted to show you today is my 2013 WR250R. Now this started off as a Trail Zone magazine project bike, and we were just using it as a regular trail bike, and I thought, as the adventure bike editor at the time, wouldn't the 250R make a great adventure bike? The reason being that it has long service intervals. So unlike a WR250F, you don't have to change the oil every 2,000 Ks. So we thought that we would make this into a really fantastic small bore adventure bike. And keeping in mind, this is a long time before this Honda released their CRF 250. But what we did to start off with was to fit a Safari 14 litre tank. But after we created a concept in the magazine about what a 250 rally style bike would look like, Safari Tanks saw the idea and took on to develop a fiberglass rally fairing for it. I mean, the fairings are a great idea because when you're on those long transport Ks, the buffeting over 5-6 hours of riding can really wear you down. So the idea of having the fairing there, that you can have a GPS and those sorts of devices there, it just made it look like a great bike and a very functional rally bike. So once we did that, we reached out to Ringmaster Graphics, and we did a basic concept of what those graphics look like, and they actually fine-tuned it. Now, we've since had the tank replaced on this 250 recently, and we contacted Ringmaster Graphics and asked them if they could provide replacement graphics just for the tank, because we did an article in Trail Zone magazine with all the graphics on the bike. Now, keep in mind, these graphics here on the side plates, front guards, even on the fairing here, because there's one on the front and on the rear guard, they've been there now for, well, probably we did it about 2014. So these graphics here are 10 years old. And I can show you what happened to the other ones. These are the previous graphics that were on the bike, and as you can see, they're yellow. And now you can't really do anything about that because the fuel or the fumes will leach through the tank eventually, and they will stain whatever color is there, and that's applicable to any color, but white is probably the worst color. But honestly, we wanted to do a retro speed block design for this bike, and it's always just looked fantastic, and it's been one of my favorite bikes for over the last 10 years, and it's done about 20,000 Ks. It's still going strong, and I just can't fault it. I mean, we've changed sprockets and chain on it, which is kind of normal. We've had a Yamaha rack on the back, B&B tail tidy. We've tested both the GYTR bash plate and the B&B bash plate. Both are very good. We've had some lights on it in the past. We had a GPS fitted, tag bars, Barkbusters, and we've tried different tyres, but we're pretty much stuck with the Dunlop 606s. They're a good, hard-wearing, tail legal knobby, but they do get a bit noisy when they get older. One of the best things that we did was to put a seat concept seat on it, which is slightly wider. It's firmer, but on the long hauls it's a lot more comfortable, and it's head and shoulders above what the standard seat is. So if you're lucky enough to get a hold of these, because they've been discontinued by Yamaha, a seat concept seat, if you can score one with that on it, it's fantastic. This one also had side racks on it, so we would normally run saddlebags, and a duffel on the rack, and that was a really good combination. When we're traveling lighter, we might go with a giant loop coyote bag if you just want to go for a rackless system. That works really well. But other than that, we've put on pivot pegs, and geez, that's just about it. But the one thing is you know, when we got the new tank, we got the Ringmaster graphics for the tank put on, and these are really easy to install. You know, what I do is I normally tape them into position to see where everything sort of measures up or you know, reaches, so I've got a starting point, and then I'll take off some of the backing tape and stick that on, and then work it across with a heat gun and you know, a piece of plastic, and work it in to these crevices here in the tank, and you just get a great result. So you know, one of my favorite bikes, had it for over 10 years, WR250R. I might have to let it go eventually, but this has been one of the most fantastic lightweight adventure bikes that you get, and to be honest with you, I think this has more bark than a CRF 300L, which you would have seen the guys from Australian Adventure Bike Magazine testing in the last year. So it's a real shame that Yamaha decided that they no longer wanted to do the 250R. It's probably got to do with Euro standards and all that sort of thing, but it's fuel injected, you know, and you get about, with this tank, about 450 kilometers to the tank full, and I just can't praise this bike enough. It's just been absolutely fantastic. So for more project bikes, we'll have our Teneres and some surprises in there in the future. Please like and subscribe, and look out for more videos in the future.